Hello everybody, welcome to episode 16 of Multiblock Madness. And as you can see, that's just a small portion of what I've smelted up. I now have a bunch of osmium, tungsten, aluminum. I have a fair bit of titanium. I just kind of let this blast furnace run overnight last night, and now we got a bunch of stuff. I also electrolyzed up an incredible amount of bauxite, so I have a bunch of hydrogen and compressed air, some more small piles of titanium, but that was mainly to get aluminum, because aluminum is something we need in a lot of different places, so, you know, might as well get some of it smelted up, just so I don't have to worry about it anymore. I also have 9 hours in my bottle, so I can go ahead and make some of these go fast. Anyways, what are we going to do today? First thing we're going to do is we're going to, change our liquid starlight production to a passive source, which I think will probably be these bad boys. I'm going to set up 3 radiant resonators because you're allowed to have 3 per account, and then we'll get starlight from these bad boys because, you know, it does that. First things first though, let's go ahead and get some celestial crystals growing. The way we do this is I need to get in range of my crafting terminal and we grab some rock crystals. I have a couple in here. I might need to go snag a few more. Okay, so I put one of these raw radiant quartzes in here and I immediately changed my mind on using these things. They make 1 millibucket of liquid starlight every couple of seconds. That's not gonna cut it. I do have one more trial I want to try. Shaped radiant quartz, this is 2 raw radiant quartzes per, so maybe this will give us a lot more. There we go. It's slower? No, it's like twice as fast. This is terrible though, what the heck? New plan, I made a handy bag, which gives me basically 4 extra inventories. I'm gonna go mine a ton of rock crystals from the beneath, because I think I found a bunch. I know I've seen a ton around here somewhere. Anyway, you don't have to watch this, I'll be back. So what you do if you don't know how to grow celestial crystals is you make some liquid starlight puddles, and you put a rock crystal and a star. You turn off your magnet, and you put a stardust and a rock crystal into each one, and eventually they will turn into actual crystal clusters. Once those grow, we will be able to harvest them for the celestial crystals. It doesn't matter the stats of the rock crystal that goes into it, just that you put 1 rock crystal and 1 starlight. They'll be completely random. So I'm going to grow 8 for right now, and hopefully that'll be enough for our intermediate means. We can maybe make some perfect crystals later. I don't know if I really want to, but whatever. I'm going to chunk load this area just so it will grow. Is that right? Is that actually loaded? I'll just load all these. That took slightly longer than expected, but rather than continue on with boring old magic, I'm thinking we might as well get into something a little bit new. Why don't we do 8 times ore processing? Or at least do some rockhounding and see what happens. I'd like to get to this 8 times ore processing in the chemical extractor. It does require quite a few different liquids. But we will see. I did actually go ahead and expand out here just a little bit extra. That did not work out how I wanted it to. We got a little extra space over here, so we can put some machines down. I also gathered enough materials to craft up 64 blank patterns, so what we should be able to do... Oh yeah, Trousers Edition is really cool. You can actually click from over here and put stuff into your thing. I think you might also be able to cheat from over here. Oh wait, I think you could always do that. I don't know, whatever. Geez, okay, that is maybe slightly annoying. We need to set up another profiling bench, and here, let me put in a bunch of recipes. I'll probably add a few new machines. We need 2 more profiling benches, 3 more profiling benches, but I'll be right back. Okay, so here's the first one done. It's kind of like a puzzle. You do have to kind of configure things the way that they connect on the sides because they have little connectors that all work together. What you can do is you can hopper things into the actual mineral sizer controller. You have 2 crushing tanks which you need to actually supply with crushing gears, so I will probably go ahead and passively supply those to this very soon, and then you get your resources once they're done being crushed into here. As you can see, those are being hoppered out from this or hoppered out from the gangui collector. I definitely didn't say that correctly. Because it's faster than an item conduit, the hoppers pick up something every 4 ticks. Conduits sleep for a little bit if they don't see anything in the inventory, so hopefully this is just a little bit faster. Those lumps of whatever, it's always a lump of something, will then get shoved into the next machine, which will be the leaching vat. But we have a little bit of progress to do before we get there. We probably want to make the slurry pond, I suppose. However, we don't actually want to do the slurry pond. The slurry pond is a way to make syngas, which I guess is a way to power our machines, but for now, temporarily just powering them with blocks of coal is fine with me, and RF when available, because a lot of these machines are supposed to use RF. I think they do actually say this one needs fuel or this one can use RF. This machine does not work off of RF power. Trust me, I've tried. It doesn't work. Even flipping this around to the RF side does not allow the machine to run. So obviously the machine doesn't run. Let me get together this next machine, the salt maker. So we're gonna need a water pump, a seasoning rack, and an evaporation tank. Looks very simple. I'll grab all those things, configure it, and show you guys what it looks like when it's done. Okay, so what I have set up here is salt production using these water pumps and fluid storage and all this kind of stuff. It goes from water into mother liquor into a bunch of other kinds of things. The water slowly evaporates into salt. I guess this is salt water right here for some reason. And then you get salt right here. That's perfectly fine. It's actually quite fast, probably faster than the seasoning rack can work. However, we don't want this. It's come to my attention we don't actually need salt in this way. We can make salt from that brine over there. What we need is this specific brine that comes out of these guys. So let me go ahead and change the system over so that it'll suck up brine. So we need to right click on the tank with the mod wrench until it shows purging brine. Then all you need to do is pipe the brine into a tank for storage. Let's see if we can make huge tanks. I'd love a quantum tank of some sort, but if that's not available, I think we'll be able to manage. And here we go. This is what we want. You need to click on this thing with the mod wrench until it says purging brine, and then once it gets to brine, the brine will get sucked out and shoved into this tank, which I am using a quantum tank for. Obviously this one is making me a lot of brine right now. These guys are a little bit slower. I timed and bottled this guy 6 times, which means I believe 128 times speed. So once all these guys fill up with water, they'll get turned into brine, yada 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 yada. I'm going to switch this guy out for a reservoir. There's literally no reason for me to be doing it this way because reservoirs are much faster. I guess endervores. I should be able to make one of these just fine. And here we go. Alright, it's been a hot second, but here's the electrochemical CSTR producing some sodium hydroxide for us. This thing, I feel like, has a lot of issues. I don't know what this does. Does this increase the speed or something? No, for sure, no. Also, you need to input 2 fluids into here, except one fluid can fill up both things. There is, I accidentally filled a tank with water, and instead of making a whole new tank, I just kind of switched them out because they can't be emptied easily. Oh no, I cheated. Yeah, you can't like easily separate which fluid will come into here. That's supposed to be fixed by the Fluidpedia here, which is actually a pretty cool idea. It has every single fluid in the game, and you can say, hey, this is a sampling ampule. I want this. You can go, oh my goodness, I can't speak. What you can do is you can technically go into a machine and say, hey, I want this to go here. Except I put water on this. That's crushed ice. Water, please. See, it says sampled fluid water. crushed ice. Like, what? It just doesn't work. Yeah, I can't really figure it out. I think the fluid mapping for this thing is incorrect in some way. So, since I'm frustrated and I don't want to deal with this stupid, terrible fluid mapping, and horrible way of handling fluids, I'm gonna wait and see if these guys will fill themselves up correctly in the way that I want them to when this runs out. If it does, I will be happy and content. And if it doesn't, I'm going to be very upset. So why don't we move on to something else? Let's go check on our celestial crystals, see if they're grown, and maybe we can do some magic and have some easy fun instead of very complicated tech mod that is probably not coded super well. And those aren't my words. Those are the words of the mod developer. Literally on the mod page it says, "Sorry if things are wrong. I'm not very good at coding." Okay, so all the ones with sparkles are done, and I think that means all of these guys are done. So we'll use our fortune to get extra stardust out of this. This is a way to duplicate stardust, kind of. So you see we got almost double the amount of stardust. But let's see, did we get... Oh my god. That's an incredible crystal. 100% purity crystal. I was hoping for like a 95. Yeah, there we go. We got a 95 as well, but I literally don't need that anymore. This is my gold standard crystal. You want a 100% purity crystal, you can cut it up to 100% cutting and then grow the size to 900, and that's a perfect crystal. You can split this into two 100% purity crystals. The sizes will be much smaller, but that's really good. We will put this guy to good use very soon. Alright, I came back to it. I figured out the problem. This thing likes to input in one bucket increments. It hates inputting in other increments. It will do it at the start, and then it refuses to for every second after. So you see, if I time and bottle this thing, and it's going very quickly, once we drop to 4 buckets, it'll input a whole bucket all at once, in both of these actually. And that's because I made a couple ender fluid conduits. They're actually not that expensive now, and I put in 4 extraction speed upgrades. These will extract at 1 bucket per operation, or 1 bucket per tick, which is overkill in most situations, but for now, this is necessary, I guess. And now we have a ton of sodium hydroxide, and I suppose, now that I don't hate my life too much, we can continue on with rockhounding. Okay, so where did you see me last? Working with this gas purifier. I've done a little bit of stuff since then. I also managed to get this to work properly. I don't know if I showed that. We all have almost 500 extra buckets of water vapor in here, storage bust, and then, you know, being sent around the base to be used in exactly one place, which it also has to be transposed back into gas form. Kind of stupid. I don't know. This mod, I don't know if I'm a fan of it. It's very cool. All of the blocks, the multi-blocks look so sick, but the machines never worked the first time. It's not plug and play. Things just kind of don't function properly. So let me run you through what I've done. We saw this, right? This was the first thing we made. This is making sodium hydroxide. I have 111 buckets in storage here. This sodium hydroxide gets used over here in the leaching vat, which I also haven't been able to get to work yet. Everything appears to be set up properly. These pressure vessels have water vapor in them that's being transposed into water and transferred into, you know, with the gas pipes. I had to mess with my pipelines here. I accidentally shoved fluids into things that shouldn't have fluids. It was a big mess. But these are the fun ones, the lab oven reactors. We had to make these guys, the lab blenders, to turn, you know, a bunch of other stuff, less cool stuff like sulfur, salt, and fluorite into their compound versions. These compound versions get sent into this drawer, and fluorite is very obviously the problem, but we don't need that much of it, so it's perfectly fine. I have a pressurizer over here, just, you know, pressurizing the fluorite and sending it back into here for storage, because this is now storage bust and things get sent over here. But with these guys, you know, the things we just made, they have to get used somewhere. You know, we're sending sulfur-bearing compound in here in order to make a little bit of sulfuric acid, and sulfuric acid is getting used all over the place. So there's actually not any stuck in there. We're filling up black backlogs. I have a bunch of hydrofluoric acid right here, which is the fluoride-bearing compound, as well as, you know, the sulfuric acid, pretty obviously. One thing I did figure out about these fluid input systems, if you get the machine to start running, it will filter itself. So like over here, I didn't set this filter. It set the filter itself, even though the Fluidopedia has some weird bug. And I actually saw this on one of Jimmy's videos too, because I was trying to figure out what was going on, what was wrong, why rockhounding sucks. And yeah, I figured it out eventually. So yeah, over here we also have hydrochloric acid using the chloride-bearing compound, as well as sulfuric acid and some water. That's getting stored here. Some of these things are storage busts, some of them I don't need right now. The quest just told me to make, so I'll storage bust them later. And that's about all. This leaching vat is 4 times ore processing, if I can get it to work. I don't know if I'm going to actually use this ore processing system. It's just kind of playing with rockhounding, trying to get it set up properly. But yeah, I think that's going to be enough for rockhounding for me today. I don't want to do this anymore. We'll come back next time, because we are going to have to, you know, get into rockhounding, make this crystal pulling crucible in order to get litherite anyways. So we do have to play through the mod, but we need to play through this side of the mod, not necessarily this side of the mod. I spent a good couple hours on that. I also realized I had completed tier 4 and tier 5, so we get these cool quest rewards. I decided I'm going to claim this one because it gives us another, or a perfect celestial crystal, as well as a causality collapser, so I don't have to craft another one, along with some runes. Pretty cool. This one gives me a lot of chrome and other stuff that I assume will come in handy down the line, so I grabbed that as well. I could just grab the trophies and be a real man, but I think, you know, that's toxic toxic masculinity, and I'll take the help where I can get it. Let's also just go ahead and set up these radiant resonators again. Since we're not going to use them for liquid starlight, it's not quite as useful, but I did go ahead and see that they will be used later in the game for a lot of higher tier recipes, so we are going to probably need them. Let me do this really quickly and set up a drawer for them that I can eventually wait, could I just... I'll just set up a drawer on this system, honestly. That'll be easy. Okay, I'll be back. And there we are, pretty simple. 3 automatic breakers, 3 radiant resonators. This will make the radiant quartz 3 times as fast, and then it'll just get collected by this guy because it's filtered on 13 by 13, which is big enough to collect everything here, and then we'll shove it into this basic drawer. Eventually, I'll put some, you know, oak trees in this and put a drawer storage, or just a normal storage bus on there. So I was thinking, why don't we go ahead and follow the quest chain for a little bit? And the thing the quest chain wants us to do is electrolytic separate some brine into chlorine and sodium. We will dump excess of this bad boy, and yeah, we'll store the chlorine because we're going to use the chlorine right now. I think we'll come back and use the sodium later, but I think it's still less useless, and we'll make this brine so quickly it doesn't even matter. Yeah. We're comfortably chilling at 10 millibuckets per tick, no issues. We're also going to need to electrolytically separate a little bit of water, and to do this, once again, we're just going to connect this up to our laser system and use the laser wrench. Perfect. Does it connect on this side? I sure hope so. Oop, I almost jumped off without actually doing this, and we'll just say that's good enough. And it's getting some laser. Okay, we just need to provide it with power, among other things. So there we go. We're also making hydrogen and oxygen here as well. These are gas forms. They can't be hooked to the fluid storage buses, so we will really just produce oxygen or hydrogen on site, like we are also doing over here. Oh yeah, we're backlogging on hydrogen. Also, how are we doing on this guy? Before I continue on anything else, I think, yeah, we're still easily producing enough. Let's test the limit a little bit. I made 16 more turbines, and hopefully this will provide us with enough power. I kind of just want to max this guy out, honestly. We're at 19. This will bring us over halfway to max, I suppose, which is very, very good. Now we're at 35, so 15 more would max out this turbine. You know what? Let's order them. I don't particularly think they're very expensive, so we can definitely just do that. And there we go, with a nicely hooked up chemical infuser all the way up there. I don't know why I'm stacking my machines like this, but this is just how they are now. We're making hydrogen chloride. We will transfer this over to an osmium compressor. Not an osmium compressor. We need a chemical injection chamber. Oh man. Oh man. Ooh. That's a recipe. Rather than deal with the gross, disgusting recipes of tier 6, why don't we do something else? What else do I want to do? I'm not going to do that, that's for sure. I guess I'm allowed to max out my turbine? Oh, it's not even going to look pretty. It's going to have one less block. Well, that's unfortunate. Nothing I can really do about that, though. There we go, 50,000 RF per tick for the low cost of 4.5 millibuckets of fuel at maximum, which shouldn't be that bad. Do I have a upgrade? No, I don't. I thought I might have one of these tank things, but I do not. You know what? Why don't we finally set up those bonsais that I've been meaning to set up for a very long time? I'm going to need a packager, an interface. I'm gonna whack this interface with a wrench in order to make it shove at the packager, and do all of the other things. I'm also out of food, which is super cool. I need to, extract items back into here, insert. We need the packager in order to make bricks. The bricks literally can't be crafted by hand. Kind of obnoxious, but I guess makes the pack more expert somehow. I don't know. I don't even have enough clay to make the hopping bonsais right now, even after I input all the stupid recipes. I guess I'm just not balanced enough. Alright, ordering 4. I think we'll come back and make the 3D crafter next time. That would be very nice, but for now I'm still just shoving recipes into here and crafting them by hand on our miniaturization fields. It would actually be really nice to be able to tear this thing down. Then I think I could finally make some progress on actually making this place look pretty cool. I tried to say cool and good at the same time. It didn't work. Trying to make this place look pretty good because there's one recipe. Go ahead and craft it. I just feel like this orange crappy thing that spawns mobs because you can't place torches on here. Let me show you. You literally can't place torches on here. It will break the thing. So yeah, this is just, not my favorite looking thing in the entire world. Okie dokie. 4 hopping bonsai pots, 4 pieces of dirt, and 4 very gorgeous, very beautiful oak saplings. And while I let these things grow a couple of times, let's finally do the thing I've been meaning to do for quite a while. Let's run this line over here and connect up this storage bus to the drawer controller. I should just be able to craft one of these real easily. Okay, perfect. And give me a second. Here we go, connect up the cable, connect up the dense conduits, and I did kind of blast into my little, it's not a panic room, it's like a AFK spot, I suppose. It's just where I've been doing all of my AFKing. Also, my crafting terminal's been working really weirdly for the last couple of hours at least. It's been picking up items that get dropped by blocks into my ME inventory. I don't have a magnet card installed, so it shouldn't be doing that, but it just is. Don't know why, but whatever. We should have, oh, sorry, sapling, you were just about to grow. We should have a couple of the products here. Saplings, leaves, apples, and wood. I think that's actually, would that be all of them? Hold on. Sapling, oak sapling, bonsai. There are also sticks. So let me, oh no, sticks go here. Perfect. And then I went ahead and voided as well as storage upgrade all of these boys just to make sure. These two were already voided. For some reason this one wasn't, so we're getting a ton of silverwood leaves backed up. I don't need silverwood leaves, so yeah, we can throw those into the void after 512. Anyways, that's probably going to be it for the video today. I'm going to let this wood backlog. I'm going to let other stuff backlog. I'm going to let some of this other titanium craft up, even though I'm pretty sure we don't even need it. Wow, at 32 pieces of crafted since I checked this thing last. Not fast. That's just, I've been playing for a long time. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, maybe leave a like or something. Check out our really cool rockhounding mod stuff. This took me like 4 hours, so even though it was like one jump cut for you guys. Anyways, as I've said a million times, see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.